Too late. Okay. I'm here. Hey there. I'm Bruce Schneier. I'm going to close this. My background is very much cybersecurity, and I approach this from a systems perspective. I think of democracy as an information system, and how it processes information, how it turns individual preferences into group outcomes is what interests me. And I've been writing a book on AI and democracy that is largely optimistic, and very much appreciated the speaker before you, unfortunately came in just as she started, so I don't remember her name, talking about how AI can work for democracy. And I think about 5 different areas. I think about AI in politics, I think about AI in legislating, AI and bureaucracy, AI and the judicial system, and finally, AI and citizens, which is what Audrey so eloquently talked about. So right here, I would like to talk about AI and politics, since we just are coming off of a year, sort of a banner year for democracy in the planet. And it's worth taking stock on how things did. So I think it was actually pretty good. So I think one of the most obvious uses of AI is in language translation. And we saw that. We saw that in several jurisdictions. In India, where speeches were translated in real time to diverse constituents. Modi did that. In New York City, Eric Adams did the same thing, translating his messages to a very diverse set of constituents. Other people used AI to connect with voters. That great story of the governor of the Japan candidate who came in 5th is what out of 50 or so people, and he was unknown, right, using AI to connect with voters in a fantastic way. We saw other candidates deploy chatbots of themselves to connect with voters. 3 candidates, presidential candidates in the United States, fell out early, had AI chatbots. Jason Palmer, who ran for president in Samoa, actually ended up beating Biden in the Democratic primary, primarily through the use of a chatbot. A former minister of Pakistan used AI to make political speeches while he himself was in jail. So here's a way he was able to connect with voters even though he couldn't physically do that. We saw AI for use for political fundraising. We're seeing several companies. Quiller is the one I'm thinking about. The person who runs Quiller is a fellow at the Kennedy School right now, using AI to help target constituents and fundraising emails. It is hard to measure the impact, but the rise of companies and the increasing use tells me there's going to be a lot more. We're seeing AI in polling. This is actually hard to explain. Most people think of polling as we ask a bunch of people a question, we tally the results, and we publish it. That is not how polling works. There's an enormous amount of math between the people and the result. And AI, like math, has always been a part of that, and there's more AI trying to figure out what the voters mean. Social listening is a way that pollsters go onto social media and other platforms to get a feel for what people are thinking. There's work in synthetic people you can poll. Right? The problem is they're not real people. The benefit is you can ask them 100,000 questions. So using that to combine with real people is something that all pollsters are working on now, and we'll see more of that. Political organizing, we're seeing AI used in all areas of the political campaign, generating ads, coordinating get-out-the-vote efforts, sort of everything in between. Argentina, 2 candidates used AI extensively to manage their campaign. And here, again, this is a good use of AI, right? Human experts, AI assistants. And it could be as easy as figuring out who your canvassers are and giving them efficient routes through the city to knock on doors. Or it could be something as high level as how should we craft our messages. They're going to see a lot more companies doing this. And in the US, the companies tend to bifurcate as to which party they support. There is an AI system that is solely designed to help local people run for nonpartisan office. Like poorly paid, no staff. We always think about the elections where there's a lot of money. Most elections, there's not, and any kind of assistance is better than no assistance. There are some weirdnesses. So there's AI Steve, who is an AI trying to run for parliament in the UK. There was a human running, but the AI did all of the campaigning. Kind of weird. The UK government decided that if they won, the human would win, not the AI. And then we had someone named Victor Miller. He's running for governor in Cheyenne, Wyoming. And his basic platform was, if you elect me, we'll do what the AI says. He had a speaker on his chest. He'd go to press conferences, press would ask him questions, and the AI would answer. Neither of these people won. In Virginia, we had an AI congressional candidate a human congressional candidate use an AI double to debate because the human opponent refused to debate. So there's kind of some weirdness is happening as well. Some stunts, I'll sort of allied those. There was misinformation and propaganda, not a lot, or at least it's hard to see that it was effective. So there's a lot of memes out there, a lot of AI-generated images, but the effective propaganda was human. And AI is also being used by the platforms to identify propaganda. Probably the biggest thing that had an effect was the Slovakian election in late 2023, where a fake AI audio implicated a candidate in a bribery scandal. That happened like a week before the election, and they have kind of a news blackout period. So that's where we think there might have been some effect. And I think that's kind of my list. I'm sort of writing this up for an essay right now. And I think we're going to see all of this continue. And a lot of it is how we want AI to work. Right? Humans in charge, AI being an advisor, being something that speeds up a process, makes a process possible. I think of the things Audrey was talking about, AI as a mediator, as a listener, as a synthesizer. I mean, these are our core capabilities. And the trick's going to be to ensure that these things are effective and trustworthy. But in a lot of ways, here it doesn't matter. No matter what rules you have, if a single candidate or a campaign manager or a speechwriter or an organizer wants to use the technology, they can. They have to trust it. They have to rely on it. This is very different than AI being used like in a bureaucracy, in a judicial system, where we all have to trust it. So all this is coming. I think it's kind of exciting. A lot of potential for bad, a lot of potential for good. So thank you.